So I think it's safe to say we've been stood up. He ain't coming. For a prophecy to have any value at all, you should state clearly and unambiguously what's going to happen to whom, where, and when, and not in symbolic lingo that has to be decoded. It should be something that wouldn't have happened eventually anyway, but if it is, then it should definitely have a time limit. Without that, you can't claim success either, because anything that can happen will happen if given enough time.
I love how somebody who clearly has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to biblical exegesis or hermeneutics wants to tell us how prophecy should work.
Oh, yeah. It's like, who is this guy that didn't even go to a school where you basically already have to decide that all prophecies are already magical and everything like that? And he didn't learn all of the weird theology, magical beliefs about the prophecies and stuff. He didn't learn all that. Who is he to tell us that he's not convinced of all the magical prophecies that we made a whole school for in theology school? It's crazy. Who does this guy think he is? So, this is a Wise Disciple. I thought he used to do like debate teacher videos. It was like debate teacher response to blah, blah, blah. And so now he's a Christian clearly. And so he's trying to respond to atheist TikTok, I guess. But we're going to get into it. I'm Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. So they said the name of this one is Christianity Destroyed, because everybody, people love to click destroyed stuff for some reason. So, I will not stoop to that low. Thank you very much. But, some people on YouTube do, but not me. So we're going to take a look at this.
Atheism is just the lack of
That's Eva's frame, right?
belief in any gods.
I don't understand these videos where girls put on makeup and talk.
Jesus himself said that some, but not all, of his disciples.
I don't understand these videos where people are playing video games and then also talking about other things. I don't understand this. Oh my God. It's called the internet, dude. All sorts of shit happens out there, man.
Would still be alive to see him return to earth in the clouds at the right hand of power. But every one of his disciples are dead now.
That sounds convincing if you don't pick up your Bible.
How do you know anything to be objectively real when
it was literally we'll get into it, I guess. But no, there is absolutely no other way to interpret that verse. And it's really funny if you watch Justin from the Deconstruction Zone. He will sit there and press people on this, and it is so funny to force, he forces these people to have to acknowledge, that's who he was talking to. He was talking to the disciples, and he was sitting there saying to the disciples, none of y'all are going to die before I come, or, some of you won't die by the time I come back. So absolutely is the context, and you can read the verse, and it's still, I love how he doesn't show the verse. It's interesting, but I mean, I guess maybe we'll see.
When you've admitted you could be a brain and a fat. What do you mean by no? Do you mean how am I aware of?
This is the #1 video of Christianity getting absolutely annihilated. If this is the best that TikTok has to offer in terms of Christianity being destroyed, well, then you have absolutely nothing to worry about, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that
I guess. And so that was Sai Tambru and Kate or something like that. He's like a presuppositionalist. It's embarrassing. That was like one of the most embarrassingly idiotic debates I've ever seen in my life. And it was crazy too, because it was just like all Sai Ted did was like play clips of Matt Dillahunty and then was like, look, he said something that he said he didn't say or something like that, just like trying to say that he didn't say something that he did say when he was anyway. But it's like, you can update your position, dude. And it's not anyway. But yeah, check out that debate. It was pretty interesting.
TikTok is where Christianity goes to get destroyed. I just did a search for Christians getting destroyed on TikTok, and now we're about to see the most popular videos. But will our Christian faith actually get destroyed? Or is this going to be the biggest nothing burger you've ever seen in your life? We're about to find out. First, welcome back to Wise Disciple. My name is Nate, and I'm helping you become...
when there's no goalposts to exist, that you can just kick down the field wherever you want. Of course, it'll never get destroyed, right? Because you can always just move the goalpost. You can always just say it's metaphor, right? He was actually talking about how the disciples are just not going to taste death because of heaven. It was a metaphorical tasting of death. So it's, it's
become the effective Christian
context
that you are meant to be. which entails engaging arguments against Christianity on one of the biggest platforms in the world. Isn't that weird? TikTok is...
No.
Anyway, make sure to like...
A very user-friendly application. It's kind of fun. You make your own little video. It says it's a blast. What are you talking about? What?
Like, sub, and share this one around, but only if it blesses you. All right, let's get right into it.
It doesn't bless me, so I will not be doing any of the things that you asked me to do.
I don't have enough faith to be an atheist. I have some really good news for the believers that continue to comment that on my content. It doesn't take any faith at all to be an atheist, unless you have faith that Zeus doesn't exist, or faith that your God came from nothing. Atheism is just the lack of belief in any gods. It's not a claim about the origins of the universe. It's not a claim.
I don't understand these videos where girls put on makeup and talk.
If this was going to be your first video, why did you use this in the coming up? You know what? Never mind.
Or guys are like, you know, what are they doing? They're working out, or they're like jogging, you know, and then they're also talking to the camera. That is so...
There's joggers that talk to, I guess I missed that kind. They're just like, all right, so what's up? Yeah, I was thinking about Christianity, man. And I thought, hold on. Oh, this sounds good. Give me a cut. Oh, I'm going to throw up.
Maybe it's just me, but that is so unnatural and cringe. Like, maybe I'm just too old. I don't understand any of this.
Claim
Yeah, I guess you are too old.
about anything, actually. It's just a lack of belief. You see, atheism requires nothing of me other than honesty. Saying that I'm an atheist is just an easy way of communicating that I'm a person that doesn't hold any belief in any gods or deities.
Yep.
I'm simply unconvinced. I still find it curious.
So you see how by the way, is this new to you? This is like the old tried and true. Well, actually, it's not true.
You say the fucking thing, man. What are you trying to communicate here, dude? Like what? Like
talking points from atheists, right? Internet atheists specifically. But you see how the talking points betray the worldview.
What? What are you talking like? So what does that have to do with anything that she's saying? Okay, her argument is about Frank Turek saying that you don't that he doesn't have enough faith to be an atheist, and Christians like to use that all the time. And she's just saying why it doesn't take faith to be an atheist, because it's just a lack of a belief. You're just not convinced that leprechauns exist. I don't need faith to believe that leprechauns don't exist. It's just that, because they constantly want to like throw this burden of proof on us. Like, well, prove the thing doesn't exist. Prove it. Prove leprechauns don't exist, buddy. That's what I thought. And so we have to constantly be like, no, you're the one with the burden of proof, because we're not the ones believing a thing. You're the one believing a thing, and you want me to believe a thing. I just don't believe the thing. That's it. That's all she's trying to communicate here. But he's like, oh, they're sneaking in a worldview. You see that? That's what she was saying, was that she doesn't have a worldview, and that she never will communicate her worldview or something.
Atheism is nothing, guys. It's just a lack of belief. It's like a rocking chair or a loaf of bread. You know, that's all it is, guys. That's what atheism is.
It literally is. It's just a lack of a belief. That's not what informs the worldview. I mean, I guess it's like a piece of the worldview, but it's just, they act like atheism comes with all this other stuff. Like, if you're an atheist, you have to be, a leftist or something like that. Like it's like a communist or whatever. Like, they try to put all this shit together with atheism. It's like, nope. Atheism is just the rejection of a single claim. Does a god or gods exist? Nope. That's it. It doesn't say anything about morality. It doesn't say anything about anything. Even whether or not you believe that supernatural things exist. You could technically believe in fucking magic crystals or something. You know, I don't, not many atheists, I would hope, believe in magical crystals, but they could, because that atheism doesn't say anything about that.
But wait a second. There are arguments for the existence of God that I reject because I'm unconvinced, right? Okay, so if you ask the question, well, why are you unconvinced? Whatever the person says to respond to the question, she's pulling from her worldview to give an answer.
What does he think he's arguing? Like, what are you responding to, man? Did you watch what video you were responding to? I feel like you're not responding to the video that you literally have up on the fucking screen here.
Well, there's no evidence for your God. Oh, okay, well, what do you think evidence is? Well, evidence is only that which can be empirically verified.
Not necessarily, but okay.
Oops.
What?
Your worldview just slipped out.
What? Are we trying to hide worldviews? What's going on here?
Objective morality doesn't exist. Okay, well, what do you think morality is? Well, it's a social construct. Ah,
Yeah?
girl, put that worldview away.
What are you talking about, dude? Like, this has nothing. Does he think that she said atheism, that like atheists don't have a worldview at all? Is that what he thinks she said? Because that's not what she fucking said. Okay. How do you not catch this? How do you not catch this when you're making these things, man? Like, listen to what she's actually saying. He's like off in La La Land somewhere and then responding to shit she didn't even fucking say.
Somewhere thought it was a good idea to frame atheism this way. And I don't know who that was or how this originated, but somebody along the...
I don't know, maybe a guy that doesn't believe in Thor, dude. Yeah. And it's, he was like, I'm not convinced that Thor exists. I don't have to make a positive claim of non-existence because it's just me not being convinced something exists. Holy shit, man. What is happening?
The Lions just thought, yeah, it's a lack of belief, guys.
It is.
But the bottom line is, there is no such thing as a person who argues against Christianity and also wants to tell you that they lack a belief in the God of the Bible. What? You'd have better luck finding the real Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Sorry, argues against Christianity.
Hold on, let me go back. I'm seriously trying to follow like what he thinks he's saying.
But somebody along the lines just thought, yeah, it's a lack of belief, guys. But the bottom line is, there is no such thing as a person who argues against Christianity and also wants to tell you that they lack a belief in the God of the Bible.
They want to argue against Christianity, but also want to say that that they have a lack of a belief in the God of the Bible. Why not? The belief in the God of the Bible is a prerequisite for Christianity. That's like a separate, like a God or any gods existing, sure, but like the Christian one we're not convinced of. What are you talking about? And we're just not convinced that Christianity is true. He's saying that that's impossible. I'm not allowed to argue against Christianity, which again is something they are trying to convince me of. Their worldview, they're evangelical. They're trying to spread their religion, right? Okay, so they're the ones trying to convince people of stuff, and we're going, nah, I'm not convinced. You can't say that and also be unconvinced in the God of the Bible. Why not? You're not making an argument here, man.
You'd have better luck finding the real Santa Claus. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know I don't think anybody knows what you mean.
Sorry, kids.
Here's another
Oh
example.
my God, that was it. Wow, dude, this guy sucks. I was like, I didn't watch any of this. And I was honestly like, oh boy, I hope this doesn't get confusing. I might have to do some, I should have maybe saved this one for when I actually watched it and maybe wrote some notes down or something. I'll never do that. I don't even know why I'm saying that I would do that at some point. I'd like to at some point. I'm going to get there. But I don't do that. I just respond to stuff. But sometimes I feel like I should watch it ahead of time just so I know like what they're going to say, so that I can at least think about it a little bit. But I was, kind of worried that maybe I wouldn't. Nope, I guess it doesn't matter because this guy's a fucking dishonest idiot that's responding to stuff that is nothing anybody's saying.
Exciting episode of The Stupid I Used to Believe When I Was a Christian. I literally believe that I was praying to a God.
It is kind of funny. I know. It's weird. It's weird when you actually go back and think about it. Who won today? How's everybody doing? Y'all doing all right? You getting your plans? Getting your plans for tonight? Huh? Getting things set up. Make sure you're safe. Okay. Please don't, do the Uber thing. Maybe just like, grab it. Just make sure you got some extra money in your account apart from all the drinks to get you back home. And then you can Uber back next day or something, just please be safe. That's my main point here. But who won? Michael won. What's up, dude? How you doing? Hell yeah. Morning, everyone. Amber's here. Hell yeah. It's party poppers. That's right. And Ways to Human. AJ, what's up? How we doing? Hell yeah. And look at the trees. That's right. And Heckleck. All here right in the beginning. Oh, wait, who else we got? Oh, Stevens. Steven. Hello, everyone. I'm here. What did I miss? Nothing. You're good. You're right at the beginning. You're good. And Logan. What's up, dude? All right. Cool. Got the starting line here. And I'm going to go down and scroll down and start responding as we go. Okay.
And I sometimes would spend hours praying to this God, definitely daily, praying to this God, talking to this God, asking this God for this, that, and the other. And through all those years and through all those hours, I never heard anything, and I never received anything.
So much trauma.
What?
So much hurt, so much disappointment.
Yeah, it's called religious trauma, man. It's a thing. It's actually, it's your religion's quite traumatizing. It's just like almost as if like a next step up from your regular religion is a cult, and we've seen what those do to people's brains, man. Like, holy shit.
This is actually tragic. I think I've seen this guy before. I'm trying to remember what his deal was. Whatever. Clearly, he's been.
Yeah, you don't remember. You have no idea who he is.
Burned by his experience at church. I bet what happened was.
Oh, of course. Because here's the thing that irritates the hell out of me. Would this ever. He was clearly somebody mistreated him at church, man. And so it's not actually that he doesn't believe in God or doesn't believe in Christianity. It's just that he's mad. He's mad at those meanies. Would this work for a Muslim, man? Like, is it impossible for somebody to be mistreated at church and also the religion isn't true? Is that possible? Because I feel like if somebody went to, a Muslim went to Muslim church and they were mistreated by other Muslims, you wouldn't think that that was like the reason. Like if somebody became a Christian or whatever, deconverted from Islam, you wouldn't be like, well, it's just because those Muslims were mean to you. That's what it was. This would never work in anything else that he doesn't believe in. It's just the Christian thing.
He was taken in by the Word of Faith movement. He thought that if he would just manifest enough, or if he'd pray with enough faith or pray hard enough, that God would give him health, wealth, and prosperity.
No, not necessarily. Just respond. Just to respond in any way, shape, or form. Just at all. Just anything. Just any kind of like little tiny teeny response of any sort. Doesn't have to have all the life, whatever the hell you thought you needed to do. Like, oh, if you get sick one time, that means God's not real. That's not what he was doing. There isn't a God there. And so, yeah. And
that, as Vodi Bakum says, ladies and gentlemen, is a lie straight from the pit of hell.
Vodi Bakum is like their favorite fucking, like he's like this, I think he's a Calvinist. Yeah, he's this Calvinist all over YouTube. They love him. He's just all over the place around here.
The plight of the Christian is better characterized by Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who said, basically, we are bid to come and die. That's what a Christian is to do. We have to die to self. We have to die to our desires.
We got to be gullible. We got to be super duper gullible. And so we got to just decide that even if you don't ever hear anything in there, that's because you're not doing the praying right or something. You just, you need that gullibility is really what I'm saying here.
We have to die to our sin, in order to walk in the ways of Christ.
No, I don't know what any of that means. That doesn't actually mean it. That's just Christianese, dude. That's all.
To be set free by the power of the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
We have to consider that
he believed that all those things, man. Like he was doing he was saying that he was gleefully like praying to God and being a Christian and believed all the stuff that you just said, and then realized that God had never actually said anything. God had never actually interacted with him in any definable way at all. That couldn't have just been tricking yourself, because that's all it literally is.
Very often God does not grant our requests because what we're asking for is ultimately not best.
Said in the request to respond at all. That's not that request either. Just not even the request to like respond in any way, shape, or form.
For us.
Jesus.
God's no is not his silence. And I think
yes, it is. Yeah, no, it's the silence is not a no, genius. It's not a hold on. It's not a anything, because it's not a fucking response, dude. I hate it when they if he doesn't respond at all, that's what no sounds like, because or a maybe or just wait. All those responses sound exactly the same, and that's all. That nothing is nothing. It all sounds like nothing because that's what it is.
I think that's I don't know. That's something that is missed by a lot of people, right? To confuse those two things is a huge mistake.
What?
At the end, I do this. I ask for prayer for every one of these people that we go through, but definitely remember to pray for, his name is Kyle. Let's definitely pray for Kyle. All right.
And Jesus
God, he's such an asshole. Fuck this guy.
himself said that some, but not all, of his disciples would still be alive to see him return to earth in the clouds at the right hand of power. But every one of his disciples are dead now, and our boy is at least 1,950 years late. So I think it's safe to say we've been stood up. he ain't coming. For a prophecy to have any value at all, it should state clearly and unambiguously what's going to happen, to whom, where, and when, and not.
I really like the music in the background. It's very triumphant. I like it. It makes me, it makes me kind of feel good.
It's symbolic lingo that has to be decoded. It should be something that wouldn't have happened eventually anyway, but if it is, then it should definitely have a time limit. Without that, you can't claim success either, because anything that can happen will happen if given enough time.
I love how somebody who clearly has no idea what he's talking about when it comes to biblical exegesis or hermeneutics wants to tell us how prophecy should work.
No, man, he's trying to tell you what should be convincing to a normal person that isn't being like duped by any idiot that pretends to have magical knowledge of the future. Yeah, he's telling like that's the position. He's not coming from the position of like, oh, you're saying that R and Ron needs to go to fucking theology school and learn hermeneutics or whatever, which is basically learning a bunch of stuff where you'd have to already decide that prophecies are magical and totally real and are definitely happening, and all that stuff in order to be like, yeah, they're actually not though. That doesn't make any sense, man.
Instead of going to school, and doing a little bit of work, or even just reading one or two books on how the Jews understood prophecy or how the church understands prophecy, he's just going to tell us how prophecy should work, guys.
And like, what difference would that make? We're not talking about what they think of a prophecy. We're talking about whether or not any reasonable person should be convinced that prophecies are a thing, man. Holy shit. This is like saying, if you aren't convinced that a psychic can see the future, well, you didn't go study. Do you know how complex all the star stuff, the astrology stuff, it's very complicated. If you didn't learn all that stuff about, how the stars actually do tell the future and, make it so that everybody with the same birth date has basically the exact same experience. If you don't believe that, if you're not convinced of that, like how are you supposed to, you didn't even go to school for it. Like you didn't even go and learn all the things that they, teach about astrology. And here you are just trying to say, nah, it's stupid. Get out of here. It's embarrassing, man. How gullible are you?
Because here's the thing. If he doesn't understand the nature of prophecy or what prophets were doing when they gave those things, how does he know that prophecy does not
it's the thing, the stuff, whatever that stuff is, the prophecy,
accomplish what he's asking for in the first place? I see this style quite a bit, and it's, doing when they
I interrupted.
gave those things. Work, guys. Because here's the thing. If he doesn't understand the nature of prophecy or what prophets were doing when they gave those things, how does he know that prophecy does not accomplish what he's asking for in the first place? I see this style.
It doesn't accomplish it, man. It's crazy. Like you're sitting there saying like, oh, if he doesn't understand like what prophecy, like how it works and what do you mean? Like, what do we need to understand to like, for it to like, the criteria that Aaron Ross said is just out of any reasonable person just being like, if somebody says they could tell the future because of some cryptic thing back in the Old Testament, and they're like, this cryptic thing in the Old Testament means this other thing because it sort of has some similarities, and a lot of it doesn't even seem to like make any sense. They're not talking about any of this stuff. There's nothing in the Old Testament that says this is a prophecy, here's what's going to happen. That's not what it is. It's some story about some fucking old king with a couple similarities, and they're like, that's prophesying Jesus. It's just all this post hoc after the fact, like what do you call it? It's you're just finding connections and things that aren't there. Pareidolia, apophenia. That's the one.
Oh, quite a bit, and it's sometimes comical, but a lot of times it's frustrating. These folks, they want to pick up the Bible and take the most uncharitable, shallow view of it, and then
we're just not deciding that it's true out the gate and then going from there. We're starting from an outsider's perspective, man. You want everybody to pick up the Bible and go, okay, this thing is true. It's perfect. It's written by God. It's all just perfectly. Now interpret this sucker. Okay. Now that you've already started with the presuppositions that everything that religion, that Christianity teaches is true. Now interpret this sucker. No, we're looking at it from an outsider's perspective, the same way we would look at any prophecies in fucking Islam or anything else. If Scientology brought out like their prophecies and stuff, he would never accept like, oh, you got to go learn how prophecies work in Scientology. How can you reject it? He didn't even go to Scientology school, dude. How do you even like? It's ridiculous. He wouldn't accept this for anything else. But yet with Christianity, it's a special fucking category on its own,
and think that they're destroying it or something when really they're just boxing in shadows. It's amazing.
Just like
No, we're just easily being able to demonstrate exactly why you should not be convinced that these things are actually prophecies, because they're just so vague and they could easily be ascribed to literally anything, and are over and over again. Just look at every time Israel does literally anything. They're like, prophecy, the world's about to end. Look, check it out. Israel the other day.
let's look at Jesus' prophecy for the end times. For many will come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and will mislead many. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And in various places there will be famines and earthquakes. And people hear this and think, wow, that's how it is now. Well, of course it is. That's how it's always been. Every year for the last couple millennia, at least, has met every one of those criteria.
Yeah. See, that sounds convincing if you don't pick up your Bible. But when you do,
Why? See,
and you look a little closer,
you don't pick up your Bible and just decide that it's already all true. That would be very convincing if you don't just decide everything I already believe is true.
then you see that Jesus isn't speaking vaguely in the Olivet Discourse in Matthew 24, or even in Luke. All right, take a look at this. This is Jesus giving, sort of the descriptors of what's going to happen, because his disciples have asked him the specific question, what will the signs be of his coming, right? This is what he says in Luke 21, verse 20. When you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know that its desolation has come near. Is that vague? Is that unclear what Jesus was saying?
That hasn't happened yet. But given their, behavior anyway, but
Jesus said when Jerusalem is surrounded by armies. Now, the Christians in the first...
Wait, hasn't that happened? Hold on, I feel like that has happened. Now I'm like, wait, didn't it? I feel like that's been constantly happening. Wait a second. I was like, wait, what do they mean by define surrounded? I don't know, like what you're saying. Like everybody has to attack Israel, because it seems like anytime anybody attacks Israel, it's like, no, we got it, we win, that's it. It's the Bible's coming true, dude.
Century understood what was going on. Jesus had just finished saying that the temple would be destroyed. So this is somewhere back up in here. Look at this, verse 6. As for these things that you see, the days will come when there will not be left here one stone upon another. It will not be thrown down. That should have been a very shocking statement that would have caught the attention of anybody in the first century, So the temple is going to be destroyed, and Jerusalem is going to be surrounded by armies. Jesus goes on to describe...
Wasn't the temple destroyed? But it was just okay.
That there will be signs.
You have to go in and decide that those actually mean stuff. I don't know. You're just, again, because it is actually still pretty vague. But I don't know. Whatever.
In sun and moon and stars
at all.
And the stars, or excuse me, the heavens, they're going to shake. The
stars are going to shake. Really, man? That's one you're going with?
They will be shaken there. Verse 26. If you know anything about Old Testament prophetic language, it always refers to a nation being overthrown. You can take a look at...
Oh, now we're getting into the code. Okay. Well, if sometimes if you know anything about Old Testament, shaking stars, hello, that's about that means this over here. Come on, dude.
Ezekiel, Isaiah, the book of Amos. I mean, the fact is, other nations, right? Egypt, Babylon, and also Israel all fell. The Old Testament describes it, and they describe it in the same way. Sun, moon, and stars darkening.
Oh, my God.
The Lord,
you are insane, dude. You sound like you're talking about the fucking Illuminati now, man, and the lizard aliens, and the symbols are all over the place. If you just look, they hide in plain sight now. You sound like an idiot.
Lord riding on a swift cloud, heavens shaking. It's very clear if you just do the homework, what Jesus was saying.
Just decide that the prophecies are magical and that you just got to decode the code. If you just decide that the prophecies are always perfect and magical and God wrote the book and everything, you'll always be able to find the code. It's amazing. It's amazing how you can confirm your bias given the more you look for it, the more you try to find the thing that you're biased to find, you find it. That's how that goes.
In Luke 21, in Matthew 24, because he was talking like a Jewish rabbi to a first century audience who understood him. Not to...
No, I don't, man. And none of this is convincing to literally anybody that's not already a Christian, dude.
To a 21st century metalhead.
How do you know anything to be objectively real?
Oh, he's got him, man. He's got him a metalhead. That was good. But I mean, he does look awesome. I will say, he does. I mean, I'm kind of surprised he didn't go with biker, but he probably saves that for Neil, the 604 atheist. I don't know.
When you've admitted you could be a brain and a fat, what do you mean by no? Do you mean?
What's going on, y'all? Sorry, it's these kind. I feel like I have to focus on a little bit harder, so it's harder for me to like jump back and forth to the chat. But I'm going back now. Baba, what's up, dude? All right, hell yeah. Yeah, that sounds great. Like Jesus calls us to sacrifice our lives for Christ. Now, yeah, you lost me. You lost me, buddy. Okay. Blood Badger, what's up, dude? Said body sucks. He does. Yeah. He's a bad dude. He really does hate a lot of people. And there's a lot of people convinced to hate them as well. It's great. It's wonderful. We have people like that in the world. Blaster Master, what's up, dude? Doing all right? Hey, I bet this guy likes to brainwash people, and that's why he's a Christian. We can play this game too. Yeah, exactly. I mean, does some of this stuff? I mean, at least that one was on topic. Credit where credit's due, and it's I'm trying to be very, I don't know, what's the word? Like I'm trying to be charitable with my interpretations of him. But at least that one made sense. That wasn't like the Eve was framed thing where he was trying to say that she was saying stuff she never said, or the other guy for that matter, Kyle. But yeah, I don't know. Dude, it's ridiculous. Hey, Lord Dissident, what's up, dude? Hey. What's we got done? I'm going to move it down. Tracy, what's up? Drazilla's here. Hey, too bad he's been too occupied with biology. Stupid. Oh, all right. As I said, yeah. Learning stuff that's actual stuff to know. Yeah, I know it's kind of occupied with learning the true things and real things. But yeah, no, not spending time with your code, your made up pretend code, so that you can feel like you're solving puzzles within your religion, like you're a fucking like you're in the movie. What's that fucking movie? Shit. I was about to say damn it. The one about Michelangelo's painting or whatever, Angels and Demons or whatever. What was the first one though? I can't think. God damn it. I'm tired. What Logan said, let's see, prophecies are from God if they come true, and not from God if they don't come true, according to God. I know, it's great. That's weird. It's almost like a catch-all for them. Isn't that weird? Yeah. And if anything happens for that matter, they can always just be like, well, from this other perspective, if you look at the Greek word, because once you start blurring the lines, right, and like muddying the water, you can find anything, dude. Like I said, like confirmation bias is a hell of a drug. It will cause you to find stuff no matter what, right? And if you have the ability to then start like looking at fucking Hebrew words, which there was only like a few of them, they didn't have all the words like we have today, and so words meant like multiple things. And so you could always just find shit in that. You can just start playing with definitions, equivocating, do all sorts of shit, It's pathetic. It's just so obvious. It's so obvious to anybody that's not got their brain in the fucking Christian blender. You know what I mean? It's insane how that works. Let's see who else we got here. Look at the trees. Hey. Kitty table. Yeah. That's where I always get shoved, honestly. With the like, and Brent, you're gonna sit. Well, we got you over there. We got a crayon for your body. Yeah. No, you're gonna be over with the kiddos. Yeah. You're constantly not nodding along with all of our religious and right wing bullshit. So just go sit over with them. You have more in common with them. You know what I mean? I got him, man. Fucking atheist. Sit at the kids' table, dipshit. Yeah. Anyway, it's wonderful. My family's great. I'm just kidding. Logan said, prophecies are from, oh yeah, so I did that one. Tracy said, I took a course on hermeneutics. I think the pastor needs a refresher, of course, because he's misrepresenting it. Hermeneutics is basically a fancy word for reading things in cultural and textual context. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. That makes sense. I didn't realize that. I always thought like hermeneutics had something to do with like theology, but it's within theology is hermeneutics. So it's like it's what you just said, like the cultural context within the within theology, right? Is that what we're talking about? There's not hermeneutics outside of theology, or is there? I'm just curious. Let me see here. Hey, Michael said, find me a time without natural disasters and wars. I'll wait. Yeah, exactly. wars and room. I like how they even like caught themselves to. Then there will be wars. Well, there might be a time where there's not wars. But people will be rumoring about them though. Somebody might be like, "Hey, a war is coming," you know. Hey, that time too, when people are just, "Hey, a war might be coming." Like that counts. That counts. Yeah. Jesus, talk about a fucking catch-all. It's ridiculous. Star Song, hey, what's up? Hell yeah, happy holidays to you. Yeah, make sure stay safe. That's my, every time we talk about holidays today, stay safe. That's what I'm going to come out with that, because I know how much fun we like to have and the type of fun we like to have. So I got to throw that out there. Captain, hey, Dave, what's up, dude? Hey. Oh, yeah. A lot of shaking going on. That's right. So, like, because he said the stars are shaking. So what about Elvis, man? He's a star. That dude, he was a mega star, and his hips were shaking. Hey, wait, prophecy. Boom. Nailed it. What? That is exactly how they do it. I can't believe you remember for 3 months. That's awesome. Thank you so much, dude, for being a member. It is worth it. I promise. If you, if you like these live streams, a lot of the live streams will become members only after they've been live. So if you don't catch them live, that's it, unless you remember. For a lot of them stay up too, but it's just they try to. But you also get like one just for members every week. So it's pretty cool. AJ said there have been 5 mass extinctions. Enough said. Right? Yeah, that is a good point. Mr. Anti-Idiotic, what's up, dude? Hey, hi. Let me see here. All right.
And how am I aware of? Right. How are you aware of objective?
This is going to be some presuppositionalist bullshit. So how do you know even what knowing is of knowledge? Like how do you have knowledge of knowing what knowledge is if you don't know what knowledge is? How do you define knowing what knowledge is?
Tree metalhead.
How do you know anything to be objectively real when you've admitted you could be a brain and a vat? What do you mean by no? Do you mean how am I aware of? Right. How are you aware of objective reality? I'm aware of reality through my senses. But that's not what I asked you. I asked you how you're aware of what is objectively real, not what you perceive to be real. So when I use the term objectively in this context, I'm using it in the sense of not subjective or not contingent upon any one mind within the scope of reality.
So if you look up on TikTok, Christianity getting destroyed, or I forget what the prompt was, this is the #1 video of Christianity getting absolutely annihilated.
What?
And it's Matt Dillahunty.
That's funny. Okay. Yeah, because he doesn't literally annihilate y'all on a regular fucking, but whatever. Anyway, why don't you call the show, dude? You know he does call-in shows, buddy. You can like once a week. It's called the Hang Up. Yeah, it's great. As well as other ones I think he's on. But yeah, call him. Why don't you call him, buddy? Since he's so stupid and ridiculous.
Man, didn't I say I was not going to do another Dillahunty video? And here we are. Merry Christmas. What
the kids love it when you do a Dillahunty. They keep getting told to shut the fuck up when they call in, and they're like, would you please be mean to this guy? He was mean to me. He told me to shut the fuck up when I was trying to talk over him a bunch. But
look, all right. Notice the move here. Okay. So this is a typical question from Christians. And it's
no, it's not. It's a typical typical question from presuppositionalist fucking nutbags who want to play word games.
Meant to distinguish some kind of criteria for a skeptic or an atheist, which typically considers themselves to be materialists, all right, to identify something objective. The reason why a Christian asks this question typically is because the concept,
because you got to be able to like go, oh no, a man like came back to life and then flew away into the clouds, and then we're like, yeah, I don't think that's true. And they're like, how do you know? What is objective truth? Define it. Where's the criteria? How do you know you're not just a brain in the vat? How do you know you're not in the fucking Matrix? If we were in the Matrix, people could fly away in the clouds all they want. Okay, they just have to learn the right kind of like the hidden tiger dragon kung fu. Probably would have to fly in the fire. I don't know how they would do it, but like they could easily do that if the Matrix was true. So boom. nailed it. When atheists are stupid, they don't even know what's objectively true. Idiots.
Consequences of saying that the only things that exist are material is that you end up locking yourself inside your own brain. What Christians are doing.
What? So you're not. See, this is where they fuck up, because basically, and this is the transcendental argument, and I'm going to try to explain this as best I can. What they do is, with these presuppositionalist transcendental argument type people, they will try to get you to defend something that they can't defend, which is literally the entire problem of knowledge and philosophy, which has an entire branch called epistemology. And it's pretty well understood that when you keep getting down to that baseline, that it's like, oh, well, how do you know that you know anything? Right. And it's like, well, that's the thing, right? Isn't that the question that we all have to answer? But they go, well, we're like, okay, but what about you? How do you know that you're not just a brain in a vat? I'm like, well, because I believe in God. So I got a magical explanation for that. And they literally think that's the fucking answer to this. They're like, but I get a magic get out of fucking epistemology free card. Like that's literally what they think. And they're like, oh, as long as I presuppose a God, you're presupposing the laws of logic and saying that they work. So if you get to presuppose stuff, so can I. It's so childish. It's unreal. And Jay Dyer literally says that. He's like, well, if they get to presuppose the laws of logic being something that works, or there's an objective truth that we could that we're observing, right? If you get to presuppose that stuff, then I get to presuppose a magic as an explanation for it. And they literally think that's a good argument. It's insane. It's just like, whatever they do like this. Well, how do you know what is objective truth? Yada yada. And they go, what's the criteria for it? I always want to just be like, a court of law. Like, what would be the fucking criteria in a court of law? Because if this isn't going to work in a court of law. If they're like, I don't know, it looks like this person killed. Well, how do we all really know anything? Really? What even is knowing stuff? Right? I mean, it's the defense is trying to get you to think that he might not have done so or whatever. And I'm trying to tell you, like, we don't really even know if we're not a brain in the vat. So, jury. So suck on that, okay? Put that in your fucking epistemological pipe and smoke it, jury. And that guy loses because that's an insane, idiotic argument.
They're pointing out that a materialist has no grounding to make objective claims. And if that's the case, they really have no business being on stage telling their opponents that their position is wrong, because what they're really saying is it's objectively wrong.
No, they're not. They're saying, I'm not convinced that your position is correct. Jesus Christ. Like, why do they get so hung up on objectively? Like, it's like, I don't understand. They're like, oh no, it's not true unless it's absolutely objectively true or something, even though what we're talking about is our individual ability to observe reality and the limits that come with that. Right. And it's like, Jesus Christ, it's so stupid. I don't know. They do the same thing with morality. They're like, oh, it's got to be objectively moral. Okay, well, it's not, because that's not how fucking morality works. Morality is like, humans evaluating behavior that humans do, and then deciding if it's good or bad. How could that possibly be fucking objective? It can't be.
If there's nothing but, matter and molecules, then your thoughts are locked inside your own brain, which means you cannot inveigh objectively against the outside world.
Oh man, you know what? You have the same problem, buddy. How do you know that the Bible is actually written by Satan, dude? And he's been the one tricking you this whole time. He's making you think that your reality is your reality, but it's not your reality. Okay. He's tricked you. That the true religion is some other thing, right? But the devil's been tricking you. How do you know that's not true? Huh? How do you know that's not the divine revelation that you got? Huh? The devil, or Descartes' evil demon that is like tricking him all the time. How do you know that's not? See, we could do the same thing back to them. They don't have an answer for this other than, but I decided that a magic is the answer for that, so I get out of it. What?
All of your thoughts, including your arguments against the Christian, are not only true objectively, they're not true. They just
not only true objectively, they're not true. Hold on.
Your thought. Hold on. Matter and molecule.
That's another thing they like to bring up. Hey, if matter and molecules is what everything is made of, then how can we think anything? You know what I mean? This is great. How could there be a right and wrong if we're all just matter and molecules? It's like, well, I think that's kind of a reductionist. I think you're oversimplifying. And then, making it seem like it's something that it's not.
Your thoughts are locked inside your.
How could if a computer is just metal and plastic and wires, how could it connect me to another person on the other side of the planet? That's insane. That's ridiculous. If a computer just is the stuff I just talked about, like how could it even do? It's ridiculous.
Your own brain, which means you cannot inveigh objectively against the outside world.
No, it would be subjective.
All of your thoughts, including your arguments against the Christian, are not only true objectively, they're not true.
He got stuck. He lost his stuff. Not only would it not be objectively true, it's subjectively. Fuck. What is it? No, it would be not true because it's my brain. Fucking shit. Hold on. But our brains don't have this problem because of fucking.
They just these sounds that you make with your mouth.
You're just reducing everything that doesn't in a way that doesn't make any sense, man. It's just the computer's just plastic, glass, and wires. It's like, and that couldn't possibly do the things that I'm saying. It's just an argument from ignorance.
Now, the alternative is the Christian perspective, which says you have an immaterial soul that resonates with objective truth, because guess what? Objective truth and the laws of logic are immaterial and they transcend.
Yeah, the transcendental argument. See, you use that word because that's the transcendental argument, which is just deciding that as long as you think of theism, if you believe in theism, you don't have any of these problems that you absolutely do have. You're just pretending not to.
Us. They stand above everyone and apply to everyone. But materialists don't want to admit that. And so here we go with the Christian asking the question about objective reality.
You don't want to admit that you're in a materialist world and you need to demonstrate the opposite. Like you'd have to demonstrate in some kind of way that is true. You're just saying, oh no, I just get to presuppose it. And that makes me right because as long as I presuppose a cause for the laws of logic being logical, then I win. Basically, it's a game of I win, you lose, because I just decided that a magic is the cause for everything, and never. It's so circular because what he's doing is saying that a god is the basis for logic, but that isn't that the thing that you're arguing for. Premise one is that God. What is it like? There has to be a necessary. What is it? I can't remember the exact premise one. Basically, it's just saying like God has to be the basis for all reality being reality, right? And then, but you can't have that in premise one. You have to have premises that lead to a conclusion. The conclusion is therefore God. And in premise one, there's a God. You can't do that. That's the thing that you're trying to convince us of. You can't have that in the fucking premise. That's fucking circular. It's begging the question.
Okay, but notice already Dillahunty is shifting, right? He shifts the question to, oh, you mean how do I determine?
Yeah, I don't blame Pie. Is that how I kind of like saying that? Pie. Hey, Pie. I'm really gonna have way too much fun with that. No, I'm gonna stop. I can't even be bothered to critique pre-supper stuff. I've already said everything. Everything needs to be said before. I can't be bothered to care about it. I know. I'm kind of there with you. It's just it comes up so often that I feel like I constantly have to re-explain what they're doing and like how it's just blatantly dishonest and just stupid and would never work with anything else. You would never do this you would never say that a leprechaun is like the basis for all logic and reason, and that's why you got to believe in a leprechaun. Like that's just not that. Nobody would find that convincing. It's fucking flim flam logic, so that you can sit there and play word games and like everybody's Woody Harrelson, and they go, oh, well, I didn't know I needed a basis for all logic. I guess Sam, we got to believe everything he says we got to believe, Sam, because how do we know that we know anything without a God being the basis for all of it? Like that's only person that would work on. Maybe Joey. Screech, no, because he's educated. Screech knows his science and stuff. Okay, he's an idiot when it comes to social, situations or whatever. He knows his fucking science though.
Reality. So he dropped the objective part because I think he knows that the correct answer is. I mean, if he wants to be intellectually honest,
dude, we're arguing over what is objective reality. Holy shit, man. Here's how the world works, buddy. Okay. You live in reality. I live in reality. We have to assume for the sake of argument that we both exist in the same reality. And we're trying to decide what that reality is. There's an objective reality and then there's our perceptions of that reality. And we're trying to figure out what's true. Holy shit. This is so dumb that I have to do this. Okay. So yeah, we're trying to figure out what's objective about reality, man. But we can't just decide that something is objective reality. We have to like come to conclusions based on fucking evidence that we can demonstrate to other people, so we have the best reasons to think that what we think is actual reality. Holy shit. I'm sorry, I get like irritated with this because it's just like, how fucking dumb. It's just they think they sound smart because they know some like philosophy shit, but it doesn't. It's not. It's flim flam logic that was only convincing to people that already believe the thing that flim flam wants them to believe.
And consistent. I have no way of knowing. That's his answer, but I don't know. TikTok tells me he actually destroys the Christian here, guys. So let's find out.
I mean, you're just destroying yourself basically because you don't have any idea what you're talking about. You're just throwing some words out there like transcends, and we're all just supposed to get that you think you know what you're talking about when you don't. It's obvious. Anyway, hi, Sai. Hey, Brie, what's going on? How you doing? Reset. Here I am looking for my friends over at Myth Vision. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Okay. Now I feel like I'm stepping on toes. And that guy, you know, I feel bad. He needs the support. Okay. His channel's not doing very well. He doesn't have that many subscribers. And so it's anyway, I'm just kidding. He's like huge. It's unreal. But y'all over here at Punkistan. That's right. Punkistan. I like that. Let's go. Hell yeah. So that's like our spot, Punkistan.
Example, I'm convinced that I'm in a room with other people right now, and if they agree with me that I'm in a room with them, then we can then work together to investigate reality. Right, but the fact is, you've admitted you could be a brain in a vat. I haven't admitted that I can be. I've admitted that I cannot prove that I'm not. That's right. So therefore, it follows that you could be. But it doesn't follow that you could be. The fact.
It totally follows that you could be.
I mean, just because you can't prove it, this is such a waste of fucking conversation. Like, why waste this time? See, this is what they have to do. Why do you know you're not a brain in a vat? How do you know you're not in the Matrix? How do you know you're not dreaming? Really, man? Is that really? Like, we're trying to decide if a dude came back to life and flew away in the clouds, and you're going, but you don't know you're not a brain in a vat. Christianity for the win over here. That's going to convince people. Are you fucking stupid, man? This I swear, it's like if a cult leader like told their cult this, they would be like, "Oh, wow, you're right. Guess we got to believe the cult leader."
That's the point of possibility. You know?
No, I mean, it would be earth shattering. It'd be like isn't that? Well, I don't want to do a spoiler, but there's a movie called Dark City, and I think it kind of circles around this a little bit. Wait, what do you mean it's a possibility? Like, it's a possibility that we shouldn't even be bothered to entertain because it would do nothing for us. If it ends up that I'm a brain in a vat, then reality can be whatever the fuck it is. Like, it doesn't matter. We have to assume and presuppose certain things. Like what Matt was just saying is that I'm a person that observes reality and other people are observing that same reality. And we're trying to figure out exactly what that reality is through whatever means that we can, which is objectively verifiable data as best we can, right? But God, this is so sad. I'm sorry, but if you have to go to, well, how do you know you're not a brain in a vat? And it's like an argument for anything being true, you lose. Okay. It's a stupid. Whoa, hey, Star Song, thank you so much. Holy shit, really appreciate that. Happy holidays, appreciate it. And a small present for you to enjoy. Oh, thank you so much. That's awesome. I really do appreciate that. Hell yeah. And you remember too. Holy shit, you're just doubling it up. That's great. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Star Song rocks. Kent, what's up, dude? Doing it for Jesus. That's right. And if you want to do it with toys and stuff, you should just go to adamandeve.com. I almost totally forgot that I have to do this ad thing. Anyway, go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley. That's BRENTLY at checkout. Adamandeve.com is America's #1 sex toy dispensary, and save yourself a trip to the store and just get this stuff, get your dildo sent to you directly. Okay. The packaging is discreet and it does come quickly, and so can you. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley.
Well, the problem is this depends on what is meant by the phrase could be. Okay. So that now congratulations.
I love how they have to fixate on stuff this is why y'all this is why like Christianity is declining, because y'all are doing these type of fucking pathetic Cartesian word games, you know.
This is a highfalutin conversation in logic and epistemology. Okay, so again, Merry Christmas.
It's not. It's just the basics of epistemology, and someone saying, "You don't know, you don't know." Like, how can you argue with somebody that's just saying, "You don't know"? What if you're a werewolf? You don't know, huh? When if everybody else sees you as a werewolf, but you can't tell that that's what you look like because your reality is being altered by Descartes' evil demon that alters the reality that you're saying. What the fuck is the point of this goddamn conversation, man? This is the stupidest shit ever. Hey,
it is
bye,
epistemically possible.
Wow. Bye. Thank you so much. Holy shit. I like how you just labeled it. And this is a super sticker we got over here. These are available if you want to purchase them, right? And it's a sticker. I just wrote super sticker. I feel like we actually have super sticker. This is a super chat, but I mean, you could say that your super chat is a super sticker. It's kind of simple. Now you're confusing me. See, you got me on this Cartesian fucking like mind fuck shit. Now you got me all messed up. But I think Bye-Bye's trying to convince us that that's not a super chat. It is a super sticker with Jedi. It's the same kind of Jedi mind tracks that this guy's trying to use here. But thank you so much. Holy shit, that's fucking awesome. Really appreciate it. Harley Cord is like, this guy is so bad at whatever he's trying to do here. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not even sure what that is. So yeah, totes. I agree. Wow, start signing on what? You did 2? What? That's 10. Wow, thank you so much. Holy shit. That's like an X worth, like an X letter number worth of dollars that Star Song has given here. Now, thank you so much. They said there were several comments about you and Adam and Eve yesterday at the at the Prism. The Pragmatic Crystal stream. No shit. Oh, that's fucking awesome. Oh yeah, I gotta check that out, man. That's like, I love PC. They're awesome. Oh yeah, Giselle saying it is a super sticker though. Am I getting this wrong? Am I flipped on this? Anyway, you know what? I feel like you're trying to confuse me, and I don't know if I like that. Okay, so we're just gonna have to move on here.
Well, that Dillahunty is a brain in a vat because he just said that he cannot rule it out.
No, he can't prove that it's not true, but there's no point because we wouldn't even need to have a conversation.
It is likely not metaphysically possible. So there's your distinction, right? Epistemic and metaphysical possibility.
What?
It's not metaphysically possible because, right?
No, I don't think you know what metaphysically means.
You would have to argue for a couple of other things first in order to show that kind of possibility.
Oh my God, dude. Why did you write something down, man? You sound worse than me. Okay. My God. Like this is, and I do this every so often. It's the thing with the stuff. You got to have the stuff that's made up of different things. And then those things fucking shit. I don't even, God damn it. And that's what you sound like. You sound like me when I totally get lost and haven't slept in 3 days and still try to do a goddamn stream. That's what you sound like.
Whether or not brains can actually exist without a physical body or something, Does that even make sense to say on a metaphysical level? So there would have to be other arguments to make before talking about metaphysical possibility, but certainly not for epistemic. And I suspect Matt knows that.
No, it would all be an metaphysics. Okay, I'm not going to go into that because I'm not an expert on all this stuff. I don't think he has any idea what he's talking about. As far as I understand, metaphysics have to do with concepts that are detached from everything, like math or whatever. Math is a metaphysical concept. It only exists in the minds of things that exist. Metaphysical. It's not physical. It's metaphysical. It exists in our minds. There is a whole branch of philosophy, so I don't know much about that. And it's somebody, the name of, what is it, Plato or something? I can't remember. But somebody has a book called Metaphysics. But as far as I understand, it's all about like concepts that are completely detached from reality. They're just like, anyway, I don't, it's hard to explain. I'm not good at philosophy. Okay. I do understand it though. The explaining part of it that's the difficult part.
Let's face it. I've seen enough of this guy to recognize he just wants to win. All right. When he's on that stage.
Yeah. Unlike everybody else, that just wants to lose. That's why I am setting out to lose this debate today. Okay, that's what I'm doing. That's the, or it's like one of the possibilities. Like he's like, the only thing that he wants to do is win. That's like the old, like somebody like, oh, I could have a possibility of losing. You know, that's one of the things that I could be setting out to do. You know, it's like I'm setting out to do multiple things. He's only setting up.
It's a matter of wordsmithing and saying whatever is necessary to get the upper hand, to the point where you literally...
You're literally doing that right now. Holy shit. You're literally questioning whether or not, like, he's a brain in a vat when he's trying to have a debate about, like, what is real in reality. And you're going, but you might be a brain in a vat. And that's not the word game shit that... Wow, dude.
Say with a straight face,
idiot.
I cannot prove that I'm not a brain in a vat, but also it's not at all possible that I'm a brain in a vat, guys. You know? Now,
possible according... Okay, no, I'm not even going to get in there.
They both could be more precise with their words. The Christian definitely needs to be more precise.
It's not possible based on anything we understand to be true. Just because you can't prove something isn't true doesn't mean that we know that it could be possible. How would you demonstrate that it could be possible? Do we even know if brains can be in vats and be fed information? No. The Matrix isn't real. The Matrix isn't fucking possible as far as we could tell. This is what's so good, like fucking dumb about this. It's just he's trying to be honest and say what you can't demonstrate to be the case, right? You can't demonstrate that you aren't in a brain in a vat. And this is all supposed to be in epistemology so that you can move from there. Okay, I can't prove I'm not a brain in a vat. What can I prove? Okay, what would I need to presuppose in order to be able to prove anything? Okay, well, the laws of logic are inerrant, whatever, not inerrant, but like they're logical. That reality is real and that we're all sharing a reality, right? Those are the things that we need to presuppose just to be able to have the debate in the first place, right? And then you move from there, what you can demonstrate. It's all more about confidence, like how much confidence in a claim do you have, right? It's like, because you got to, and then you would base your confidence on a claim based on the evidence that demonstrates that that claim is reasonable to believe. I'm sorry. I just, you know, it's when you I feel like I just have to keep explaining, like, we're in reality. We're trying to prove what's real. But this is crazy. Why do I have to keep repeating this? This is fucking ridiculous.
With his words, have you noticed it always does end up coming back to clarification of terms, right? Definition of terms and how helpful that really is. However, I'm not seeing anybody get destroyed here. You know what I mean? It just seems like this right here.
I feel like you're incapable of seeing that as long as you believe the thing that is claiming to be destroyed.
Boils down to a semantics issue.
That something hasn't been proved. That's not what I'm saying. Does not mean
it's them being you know what? Never mind. I just holy shit.
It's possible or true. Okay, so you trust your senses and reasoning in order to determine what is real in your reality, right? Yes. On what basis do you trust your senses and reasoning?
Oh wow! Thank you so much. Holy shit! I really appreciate that. Captain Death said we plugged you too on Snata. Snata. I know that's like a shorthand for something, and I know what that shorthand stands for, but my brain's not going to go there. I can't with shorthand. I'm everywhere that my brain goes everywhere except whatever it is that you're trying to, what is the name of the thing? I'm going to be thinking all over the place, not anywhere. Anyway, I don't know what snot is, but I'm sure I do if I knew what the actual word, but I understand not wanting to type it all out. Anyway, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to...
on their continued reliability of producing effective results. Okay, now when you... No, see...
That sounds like reliabilism, maybe coherentism, you know?
Okay, those are different... These are different, like, subcategories within epistemology, whether empiricism, or it might be like subcategories of empiricism. I don't know. I don't know all the categories of all the things. It's so stupid.
I'm not sure. But nevertheless, the problem remains. If you're locked inside your own head, and your beliefs work for you, great. But who are you to argue against the billions of Christians around the world whose beliefs also work for them?
That's ad populum. That's a fallacy. Like, there's a lot of Christians though. Yeah. There's a lot of Muslims too, man. What do you say to them? Does that mean Islam is true? No? Okay. Yeah. Cause that's just a fallacy. Jesus Christ. Michael said, so arguments against Christianity are true. Checkmate Christians. I feel like I should be understanding this, but my brain has gotten just tied into a pretzel in the last 10 minutes or so, and I'm trying to undo it. It's just, you know, it's like a knot, like when you accidentally double tie your shoelaces too hard, and then now you got to get like a needle or something, like some scissors. And anyway, but I feel like you're probably right about that. I don't know. I feel like I need more context. Ever said, how dare Matt use coherency? He is talking to a theist, and they find coherent thoughts offensive. Right? Okay, because it's funny when they bring up coherentism. I don't know what that is. I'm going to be honest. Coherentism, that's what it sounds like. It's like, well, as long as it's coherent logically or whatever, right? But a lot of times when it has an ism and it's in philosophy, it's only this and not that. You know what I mean? So it's only things that are metaphysically coherent and nothing empirical that could be, stuff like that. Like I said, I don't know all the distinctions between all the things in epistemology and, that kind of stuff. But a lot of times it's absolutist. It's like, this is when it's only this and not anything else. And it's like, okay, so then anyway, sorry to explain, but Kent said, okay, let's see. Well, maybe don't approach it as some kind of mission to convince. Take the opportunity to learn more about these people and why they are in that state, showing them how you think might get some going. I mean, are you talking about responding to presuppositionalists and they're saying that they wouldn't do that? Because I mean, I think that if you're good like Matt, I don't have any problem with him responding to presuppositionalists and everything. But because presuppositionalism is so fucking dishonest, it's almost like debating flat earthers sometimes, or young earth creationists, where it's almost like you're giving them a platform to be able to play these mind games and tricks when it's just blatant dishonesty. So I can understand. I still like to have those conversations. I still think it's fun to talk to the people and everything. And I think it takes all different types, but I have no problem with people that don't want to engage with it. You know what I mean? Because it can be extremely frustrating and confusing given the type of rhetorical devices they use for those arguments. But anyway, where are we at? So, gets it. Because it's fucking frustrating to argue with someone who wants acknowledged who won't acknowledge objective reality. Yeah, that is difficult. But then they would be, what makes it objective? Don't you have to subjectively interpret reality in order to come to conclusions about it? How do you know your faculties? It's just a fucking, it's a mind game that they like. But thank you. Yeah, if you don't mind, liking and subscribing helps a lot with these things. It gets us out to more places. And I'm going to be honest, the algorithm does not like us. I think I swear too much and talk about dildos and shit too much. It's like all the ads, all the ad, whatever, the advertisers are like, we will not be advertising on that channel. It's like every single video is limited advertising. So any kind of liking, subscribing, sharing, all that type of stuff would be greatly appreciated, because the algorithm does not like me at all. It's just, that's what I'm going to choose to blame it on that. That's what it is. But
the only basis to do something like that is to accept that there are objectively true facts in the world. But as soon as you do that, you've opened the door to transcendent truths, which is where God comes in.
Oh, were you presupposed that a God has to exist for something to be objectively true, and you just decided that that's the case, and then now we have to argue against all epistemology, even though that doesn't solve your problem, man. You still have to use your faculties to figure out if something is objectively true too, and you have to use your senses as well. Saying that there's a magic that guarantees that your senses are working better doesn't fucking solve anything.
You know what I mean?
No.
Oh my
you don't
gosh.
You don't know what you mean, buddy.
Christianity got destroyed? I don't think so. All right, look, I've seen enough. If this is the best that TikTok has to offer in terms of Christianity being destroyed, well, then you have absolutely nothing to worry about, ladies and gentlemen.
You already said that at the beginning. Like, what, you literally respond like, Jesus, this guy's lame.
It's
lazy. You're lazier than I am, and that's saying something, dude.
Amazing to me how little effort is put in to truly understand the religion that these people seem to want to clash with. So
you always have to understand more in order to just be like, nah, to a book that says a donkey had a debate with a guy and won, and then an undead carpenter ghost lives inside of all these people that they pretend to cannibalize and drink his blood. So you got to remember him. It's hard to remember people if you don't cannibalize them, or pretend to cannibalize them at least, or actually cannibalize them if you're a Catholic. But yeah, we need to go learn about it. You're right. We need to read fucking Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. We need to go learn fucking hermeneutics. We need to go fucking learn all of theology to just say not on to the talking donkey book. Really, man?
So harshly. All right. Now, let me close with this. Okay.
Really
Let's
is.
just remember this.
It is.
It's not about making fun. I'm trying not to do that myself. Okay. I really am.
But I mean, it's so sad that he's like, I'm trying not to look down on these bozos and to make fun of them for how stupid they are. Yeah, because it's a joke. You're you sound like Joey trying to make fun of somebody on Joey on Friends trying to make some idiot. He thinks Alaska isn't right next to Hawaii. What a moron. Read a book, buddy, or better yet, an atlas. That's what you sound like, dude. Holy shit.
What these folks need is what I needed when I was an atheist. It's what we all need. They need prayer. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Do the magic thinking thing, man. That'll do it. Your magical thoughts.
They need prayer that they're going to come to their senses by the power of the Holy Spirit and awaken to the light of the gospel. All right. So let's keep praying for them.
Yep. Keep doing nothing.
Specifically Kyle, right? But all of them, it's not too late. Well,
just the one guy, basically, because clearly he was hurt by somebody at church, and that's why he's not convinced that it's true. So he's just gotta, we just gotta give him some magical thoughts, and he'll be right there. We will manifest this sucker. Wait, that's Eastern mysticism, not that. No, I'm just the praying for it to. I'm just saying, I shouldn't have used that word. That was now we're getting our wires crossed, and now it sounds like I'm a pagan. No, I don't believe in manifestation other than the manifestation of the Holy Spirit. I shouldn't even have said that word.
They still have breath in their lungs. Amen. All right. Well, now it's your turn.
Did you just threaten to kill someone? What?
Were any of these videos destructive to your Christian faith? Let me know in the comments below.
Nope, you were. I want to say you were. You're doing more of a service for the atheists than you are for the Christians, buddy.
Be curious to hear why, if the answer is yes. But in the meantime,
it's funny too, because I was thinking he goes on these things, says that he's, like I said, earlier it would always be a debate teacher reacts to blah 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 leftists, blah, 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 and it's just funny because this kind of shows you right here that when you learn just debate and you kind of don't really care about what is actually true and what is not true, you're just good at debating. And don't get me wrong, there are people that are just good at debating, right? They can play games. They can, ask you to set up criteria and force you to articulate what the criteria would be, and then poke holes in the criteria that you said and stuff like that. They're just good at debate. But I've literally seen people that were good at debating scientists when the person that was good at debate was a flat earther, right? So it doesn't actually mean anything when it comes to reality. I'm not even saying that he's a great debater. I'm just saying that it's kind of funny because his whole method seems to be just, I'm very confident, pretending to know stuff, which is basically all religion is just acting, very charismatic and saying that, pretending to know stuff. But yeah, it's just funny because it's these people, if you're just good at debate, you can convince people, or not convince people, but sound like you could be convincing just based on the way that you argue. But it doesn't actually mean anything about the reality of the matter.
I hope you're having a restful week, staying close to the Lord.
Nah, we're separated actually. Yeah, he's got the kids on the weekends, and it's just
spending time with family. If that's available to you. There's a bit of a reduction in the videos over the next couple of weeks, but
hey, Deep State, how's it going? He was an atheist, and then he decides that pretending to be a Christian was more lucrative. I would not put it past. Honestly, how big is his channel? Let's take a look. Wise Disciple, 236,000 subscribers. He's got quite a few. I mean, it is lucrative, honestly. First of all, you don't swear, you don't do anything. You don't say any of the things that the algorithm doesn't like, right? So that already gets you. The second thing that they can do is just be like, hey, I need you to just say amen down below. So then you got 100,000 comments that are just the same fucking word, which, again, algorithm can't tell that they're just mindlessly typing the same word. So they think that that's a very deep conversation that's happening in the comments there, and puts it out even more. And so, yeah, they have every advantage when it comes to the YouTube algorithm, putting out their shit. It sucks. It sucks. It's like it's like the conspiracy shit, the conspiracy shit, like the right-wing reactionary, I hate everybody and love guns shit. All that stuff is just like fire for the algorithm, right? But anybody that's a skeptic that maybe, isn't like promoting like movie plot fucking narratives and shit. And it's just like, yeah, reality's kind of boring, actually. I know. But isn't it nice to believe true things? Where did everybody go? No, they said no. They don't want to believe truth is shit. Well, they want to believe the lizard alien thing. So fuck. Yeah, it's just so frustrating. Like, that's what I would say. Like, everybody hates a skeptic because everybody wants to be validated when they say something that they think, and nobody likes to be told that they're not convincing with whatever it is that they think. But yeah, sucks. Let's see. Okay, Ember said coherentism is a theory in epistemology and philosophy that claims that a belief is justified or true if it is part of a coherent system of beliefs. Oh, okay. Huh. Okay, so it all kind of, it's like it's a part of a coherent system. Couldn't they get around that by being like, but if you believe in magic, everything's coherent, okay? Because God, so my beliefs are always valid. Donkeys can talk because I coherently have a magic that explains talking donkeys. Like, what do you? It's coherent. I wonder how that would go. Wait, I want to get to deep state. Oh, there he is. Okay. Deep state. Oh, is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. I missed this one. Deep state earlier. Deep state said, we don't have the same reality with these nutters. We most of the time we don't even have the same concepts of history. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's kind of the point, right? Is that we all are observing an objective reality, but we're all subjectively interpreting that reality based on what we find convincing through whatever means we use to be convinced of things, whatever. And like, so yeah, they're convinced of things for really bad reasons, right? But they're still evaluating like objective reality, right? They're just doing it bad. You know what I mean? Like, because they don't care. They just want their family's tradition to be the true one, and that trumps everything. That trumps logic, reason, all that type of stuff. It's like, as long as they get to believe that their thing, that their tradition or whatever is the true one, or at least is reasonable. I don't know how they go there, but yeah, it's crazy how it works. But you're right. We're not really sharing reality with these people because they're just so deluded. They're so incoherent with their models of reality. But
I got another one coming for you real soon. Don't forget to join.
Oh, good. Can't wait, buddy. You are just nailing these things, man. You are good. This guy's good, right? Nailing it. And let's see what else we got here. Do we got any short ones? I'll do I honestly thought that was gonna take longer, to be honest. Usually like 18 minutes equals an hour and a half for us. It's typically just the way it goes. The Bible disproves climate change. I don't think he knows what proves means or disproves or climate change. I don't think he knows any of these words. That's
what's really
all right. This is Mark Driscoll, everybody. I actually he was known to me back when I was a Christian as the Screaming Pastor, and he actually came to the I saw him speak somewhere, and I can't remember if he was a guest in our church or if I went to a conference or something like that. I think I went to a conference, I always went to these stupid True Love Waits, things. And they had a bunch of speakers. It was a conference, whatever. And it was all about how don't have sex. Don't you do it. Okay. And it was all like for teenagers. So they tried to make it fun and stuff. Anyway, but he was there, one of those. And I remember seeing him and he gets heated, man. After he loses his shit, like he needs to take up some Buddhism, really. I'm just saying, like, he needs to center himself, right? Get some of that chi stuff and just scrub it all over your brain. I don't know how chi works. I think you probably scrub it on your brain, probably, right? That to relax. It's a relaxant, right? What? Oh, it's not. Okay, well then just take a value. I don't know how chi works.
What's really curious, we just came through an election. I don't know if you guys knew that. We had an election recently, and
oh man, comedy, boom, out the gate with a joke.
And one of the voters' issues that was prevalent among younger people was the environment or climate change or environmental activism. And they have a lot of concerns and worries and questions about the world in which we live. The good news is the Bible actually tells us where the world came from. The Bible tells us who rules over the world. The world, we are told, is broken and flawed because of sin, and it tells us that Jesus Christ is coming again.
So that trumps all objectively verifiable data that we can demonstrate. We literally have climate fucking refugees at this point. Have you seen what, Venice? Is it Venice? Italy? Place is fucked up, dude. Like, it's just unbelievable. Like, I haven't had a hurricane hit this city where I'm staying in 100 years, dude. It is always like passed by, whatever. And we just got hit with like 3 of them, dude. Like, it's just insane. Yeah, climate's changing, dude. And it doesn't have anything to do with the fucking undead carpenter ghost that you think you got living inside of you, man. Jesus. Dumb.
To lift the curse and to heal creation. So for those of us who know the Bible and we know God's story, we know how to understand and interpret the data that's going on in our world. And it's a great gift to us. So the storyline of the Bible is this, that God made the heavens and the earth. He made all of creation. He made the world as we know it. And then he created our first parents, Adam and Eve, and he gave them something called dominion. This is authority to rule and reign.
Oh my God. Is he really going in the direction? Look, hey, God said we can fuck this shit up. Okay. We are perfectly capable. We have dominion over this planet. Okay. So if we want to fuck it up for our great grandkids, that's our goddamn God-given right. Fuckhead.
Once Adam and Eve sinned against God, everything that was under their dominion was affected by their sinful decision. So when they sinned against God, and not only broke,
Dave said, not swearing isn't giving me the 200 subs. So you don't swear on your channel. I do think it helps, man. I'd be honest. And I think also being able to click that button that says like, can kids watch this or whatever? Like if everything that you talk about is like chill enough that you can click that box to say it's fine for kids, I think that's really like where it goes out the most. But and swearing would be, not swearing would be job 1 to get that box checked. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. No, I'd have to get a new sponsor. I'd have to change. I don't even know what I'd have to just like tie something over my mouth and talk. That's how, like, not fucking swear the whole time. Just as I'm a janitor in fucking Florida. Okay. I don't know if you know about like those types of folks. We tend to swear. Okay. We're not around a whole lot of people very frequently. So that's just how we talk. Let's see. Oh, you got that. That's right. I just want to make sure I got all the. Well, he said the religious nutters gather around them self-teachers who will scratch their itchy ears. Yeah, that's all it is, man. It's just that people try, the people that just want to be validated. That's really what it is, and they want their group and their in-group to seem like it's the most reasonable choice, no matter what that in-group is. Everybody, they all religiously. I mean, like. All the in-groups do basically the same thing where they just sort of act. You won't find many in-groups are like, I have no idea if this is true and I kind of don't care, but I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just sort of whatever, I believe my religion is true. It's sort of, it's whatever if it ends up not being, I don't care, so I'm just gonna, you don't get that too often. You know what I mean? Usually you want people to believe that their in-group is actually the reasonable one. But let's see. By Odin's beard. Is that who said? Doesn't somebody say that? It's like, I curse you in the name of Odin's beard, or something. Right? Is that Thor? That's a Thor line or something, isn't it? Tons of mice. What's up, dude? How we doing? So Brantley's great grandkids will be named. Oh, am I supposed to come up with them? Frenchie. I don't know why. I just think it's it'd be cool. Maybe Ducky. I don't know why all the names need to end in Y. But Ducky's cool, man. That dude has a lot of personality, almost too much, some might say. Okay, but he was cool, man. He was fucking solid, way cooler than when he lived with those 2 guys and a kid or whatever the fuck. That guy wasn't as cool. Ducky was way better, straight up. Pink, pank, punk, boom, boom. Yup, fuck yeah, dude. That feels like that could be a song or something. Pink, pank, punk. Starslog said they are predicting snow in hell. They're predicting snow in Hell, Michigan tonight. Is there really a Hell, Michigan? I feel like that's just they're setting the bar real low. They're like, if you move to hell, you're never actually disappointed because how good could it be in hell? That's just like you're never disappointed if you do that. Always thankful that hell is better than what you would think hell would be like. So, the chef Frenchie. I was thinking of Grease, but I don't know why. I'm in like old movies in my mind, and you asked me that. Wasn't there a friend? Yeah, Frenchie. She was in both of them actually. She was even in the motorcycle one that was weird, but yeah, with the masked biker or whatever. Fuck, what was the guy named in Sailor Moon? I was gonna anyway. Forget it. Kent said, Drusilla, of course. But we all fell for Jesus, for some Jesus, or some Jesus look-alike at one point or another in our lives. There is no shame to have. Okay, yeah. But then this is in response to. Oh wait, that wasn't it. Where did Drusilla say something? Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, here it is. And said, well, it isn't my children, and I said I wouldn't tell on them. Just can't follow a guy who doesn't pay people he owe. I have no idea what this guy. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm putting this up there. I feel like this is not. I'm not part of this conversation. I think. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just randomly put up stuff. But anyway,
broke their relationship with God. It also broke their relationship with creation, and it broke creation. The result
broke creation. I love this story is so fun to me because they have to figure out a way to explain why the world is like so awesome that it couldn't be without a God, but it's also not that awesome because there's a lot of fucking diseases and bad stuff too. So they're like, they have to have a story where like a perfect God created everything, right? But then sin messed it up. So that's why it's not. That's why it's both awesome and not awesome. That's why it's both really cool seemingly and really not cool all at the same times because it was perfect and then now it's not. So we got everything's covered, you know what I mean? Like cover all our bases here.
Is the world that we live in now, as magnificent as it is, it's broken.
No. Yeah, thank
it's
you.
Flawed.
The tuxedo mask. Thank you. That's what I was trying to do. But it was like a tuxedo mask, but he was in the movie Grease too. But he was just like the masked biker or so. Anyway, I don't know. It was going to be cool if I could get it all out in the right order and know all the names of this stuff. It was going to be dead on, just fucking solid comedy, but I messed up. Deep State said, yes, there is Hell, Michigan. Really? Wow. Okay. That's cool. That's weird. They used to have a church, but it burned down. That's funny. What the fuck? Yes, tuxedo mask. That's one time. Thank you. Y'all are on it. I love, it's great having a chat that knows things. Let's wait. What? Somebody said Jack Sparrow equals the name of the guy in Sailor Moon. No, I think you're close. You're close. That's a different franchise, different style of movie and everything, but close. They're both narrative structures, so I'll give you that. But Star Song said, Captain Death, my mom and I were supposed to go there 10 years ago. Sadly, she died before. I'm sorry. Before we could make that a reality. My little brother and his wife took me there to Hell, Michigan. So we're done. I don't know. I keep throwing up comments when I probably shouldn't be.
In the sight of God, it's ugly.
I got to read stuff ahead of time, and I just read stuff.
It's magnificent to us, but imagine what creation will be when the curse is lifted and everything is restored as God originally intended. And on occasion, what do you mean?
Is God all powerful or not, man? What do you mean originally intended? Like he intended it. He would have had to intended it to not be what he intended because, he's a fucking all-powerful God in control of it.
Happens in the Bible. Jesus shows up and he does a miracle. And he does a miracle overruling the laws of nature. And he restores order to nature and beauty to creation. And every time he does that, we're going to look at a few of those miracles in just a moment. It is a sign, as I taught you in the first sermon, pointing to the kingdom of
Are you doing? Are you saluting somebody with that? It kind of looked like you were
And beauty
saluting
to
something.
creation. And every time he does that, we're going to look at a few of those miracles in just a moment.
Uh-oh. I think he's into something, man. I think he's got some fascist vibes going on here, man. Why are you doing this with your arm, buddy? Huh? Thumbnail. There's the thumbnail now. Fascist, white supremacist, fascist, homophobic, Mark Driscoll. Look at him. Look at him doing the salute and everything.
It is a sign, as I taught you in the first sermon, pointing to the.
Is this supposed to be a sign? Is this fucking anything for sign? What are you doing, man? Remember, a sign. Hello, this is like what signs do. Okay, it's a swoosh sign, a swooshy. What the fuck are you doing?
Kingdom of God. It's a little sneak preview. It's a little glimpse of what is to come when all is healed and revealed. So we're going to look at a few occasions where Jesus performs a miracle over nature.
That God came and burnt it all up. He burns up the whole fucking planet and then brings this giant emerald colored cube down from the fucking heavens. And then that ends up being heaven on earth, world without end. So yeah, it's cool. Don't worry about climate change. God's going to burn everything anyway. So we're good. We're all going to just, it's going to be a heat death. And that's it.
Nature. For those of you who are more scientific, you may struggle with this because you believe in the laws of nature. And I would say we do as well because we believe that there are laws that come from a lawgiver. His name is God. We also believe that because God is the creator and he rules over creation, he can override those natural laws at any time that he determines, and those
just chooses not to all the time for some reason. He just never interacts with reality in any kind of detectable way for that matter. But he's there, man. It's just totally. I don't think he knows what disproves means. None of this is disproving anything. As long as you decide that the Bible is absolutely true, you just got to believe that talking donkey book. It proves that reality isn't working the way that reality is clearly working. So you just got to decide something, and then that proves that the reality is wrong. Captain Death Dave said God's tree in the garden is the big red do not push button. Evil geniuses always have that will blow up their layer. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. It's almost like the evil setting on the robot. You're like, why would we even have an evil setting here for the robot? That's like how they fix it at the end. Well, did you have it switched to evil? It's like, oh, switch it back.
Those are supernatural moments of miracles. And so when Jesus shows up, the creator exercises his new dominion over creation, as previously creation had been under the dominion of Adam, and it's fallen and broken and cursed. And once Jesus shows up, he heals it and he overrules it. I'll give you a few examples. The first one, Jesus calms a storm.
Oh,
it's in 3 of the 4 Gospels. Well,
this is just like pastor stuff. It's just so funny to me. I don't know. They're like, okay, now we were talking about climate change, which is a hot button issue. Let's go to a Bible verse about Jesus calming the water and the weather, because it's related. And so, that's a time when Jesus has power over the climate. So it's related. Okay. Don't need to worry about the climate because Jesus settled a storm in a book that said that he did that.
Look at Luke 8:22-25. One day he, that is Jesus, got into a boat. You're going to see Jesus with boats a lot. About 50 times in the Bible, Jesus is in or near a boat. He got
a lot of boats. That's why, why do you think there's so many people that, that he's trying to get as many boat owners as followers as possible? Okay. Because he knows that they have a lot of privilege, I guess. I don't know.
Got into a boat with his disciples and he said to them, let us go across to the other side of the lake. So they set out and they sailed and he fell asleep and a windstorm.
Wow, dude, you're not as good. You probably should have something closer up. Are you seriously trying to read it off of the wall or whatever?
Storm came down on the lake.
He fell asleep. That's right. No, okay, because he was Jesus was the one sleeping. Okay, hold on, sorry. And then they went,
and they were filling with water and were in danger. Boat's gonna sink. And they went and woke him up, saying, Master, Master, we are perishing. And he awoke and rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and they ceased, and there was a calm. That's amazing. Wind, knock it off. We are perishing. And he awoke and rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and they ceased, and there was a calm.
And it was a calm? And if you want a come, just go to adamandeve.com. What, he didn't say come? Oh, he said a calm. I don't care. I'm going into the ad. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley. They have a really incredible deal that ends today. It is the final day that the deal is available, and it's a really good deal. It ends up saving like $100. They describe it on the website there. But yeah, go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley at checkout, get almost 50% or 50% off almost any item. I think the only one that you don't get 50% off is like this giant fucking sex swing that takes up an entire room, which is great. I paid full price for it. I don't care. But that, that was before I had them as a sponsor anyway. But yeah, go to adamandeve.com, get your butt some stuff and stuff your butt.
That's amazing. When
It is amazing. The stuff there is amazing. The stuff that gets stuffed.
knock it off. I was napping.
Sorry. Nah, don't tell me to knock. You knock it off, dickhead.
He said to them, "Where is your faith?" And they were afraid, and they marveled, saying to one another, "Who then is this that he commands even the winds and the water, and they obey him?"
What?
Well, see, when God spoke
Holy
creation
shit.
into existence, creation
What are you? Star Song? Wow. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. That's 20 now. We're up to 2 X's of the letters that represent numbers. Holy shit. Thank you so much. Back when I went to church, there was a sermon where the preacher said, "Why are we worried about ecology? Jesus will be back before it comes crashing down." I know. Why worry about anything, right? Why worry about safety measures at the job? Because Jesus is protecting you. You said some prayers that day. You said, make sure to put up a hedge of protection, like bushes, I guess, of protection around you when you're at work. So why worry about anything? God's got it. He's got it. Okay. I don't know if they're aware of this. There was a point when God, according to them and their beliefs, this didn't happen, but according to them, God destroyed the entire fucking planet. Okay. I don't think he cared. They're like, just saying God will handle it. Not a good solution here. Okay. God clearly doesn't give a fucking shit whether, what happens to humans on this rock flying through space. Okay. That's just how it goes. But wow, thank you, Star Song. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. And I don't know if this has been clear, but the super chats, those are top priority. And then beyond that, members and stuff like that. And then beyond that, whatever I notice. And I do my best to try to see all this, but I will definitely see these super chats. But yeah, thank you so much.
creation knew his voice.
Wow.
And here, the creator shows up, Jesus Christ, and he speaks, and creation obeys because they recognize that voice. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, that's... This is your ending video. Thanks for joining me with the video. Why do I have to do these, man? I don't like, can we just have it end, dude? Oh, then the subscribe thing and the other video that they could click on will be in the way at the end of the video. Shit. Thanks, guys. For just thought you could not be less enthused.
Hey, my name is Pastor Mark. I've been teaching the Bible for more than 3 decades and head-on constant collisions with woke culture. And I would love to get you more Bible teaching. 2 things.
Head-on collisions with woke culture. What, man? What does that even mean? Just like colliding with those people that are okay with other people advocating for their rights, even if they're not a white, straight, Christian, cisgendered person.
You can do, go ahead and watch the sermon in total and also subscribe to the channel, and I'll just keep sending you Bible teaching and we'll have a lot more fun.
Look at this. It's got the people from Twisters. Is Jesus pro climate change? What? This is so stupid. My God. Oh man, this dude looks like exactly like somebody I work with. It is weird, and he kind of thinks like him too. But yeah, anyway, wow, interesting stuff. Really, really interesting stuff. A lot about climate change, and what he's going to say. Is Jesus pro? No, he's not. He's not pro climate change. I know it's crazy. I think I prophesied that that's what it's going to be, because Jesus doesn't Jesus is going to destroy everything anyway when he comes back with his sword tongue thing. Yeah, he's going to have glowing eyes, sword tongue. I really don't know what the purpose of a sword tongue would be, other than, I guess, to like maybe do one of those spinning moves and just be chopping people down like they're in Kill Bill or something, but with one coming out of his mouth. Just picture that. That's going to be fun. I can't wait to see that. That and the scorpion creature monster things. Holy shit, starts out. What is going Wow, thank you. Holy shit. Starts out on a fucking roll. Man, I can buy that pony now. I've been eyeing it. I've been eyeing this pony. It's a nice one. It's a beaut. It's one of those mini ponies. It's the size of a dog. It's insane. Oh, it's adorable. Can't ride it though. Can't ride it. Apparently I got in trouble. They asked me not to, Anyway, Star Song said the Bible supports climate change. It says in Revelation, the sun will be given power to scorch men. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's supposed to become 7 times hotter. It's funny because I've literally heard people bring that up, right? When they're talking about like Bible prophecies becoming true, and they talk about the like scientists talk about like the sun and it being, they're like, what is this? Some kind of like different chemicals in the sun or whatever, and it's at a particular percentage, right? And if it gets to like a 50-50 or something, I'm sure I'm butchering all the science, but like, what's the different chemicals get like a 50 percentage? It explodes or whatever, right? And they were like, that's the Bible right there. Okay, the Bible says that it's going to become 7 times hotter. And look, and the scientists, they agree with us. We love it when the scientists agree with us, and when they don't, then we say they're fucking cult of Illuminati lizard alien scientists that hate God, and they just want to cover up the truth of Jesus Christ. But when it agrees with us, we like it. We do. We always try to point to the science when they like it. Oh, Jesus. Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Star Song. That was, I really, really appreciate that. And happy holidays to y'all. Holy shit. That's great. But yeah, it's funny how all that shit works. But hey, thank you all so much for hanging out. This is a lot of fun. What is it? And if you want to play with things hanging out, go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley at checkout, get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. If you want to support us, you can support us by supporting the channel by going to adamandeve.com. Like I just said a second ago, I don't know why I always repeat this a second time. It's just like it's a fucking habit at this point. I don't know. But there's other ways that you can support us too. Like how Star Song has been with super chats. I really appreciate that. And that gets your comment to the top of the line. Right. But also you can become a patron, right? I got patreon.com/Punk Apostate, and that has like all my old projects from like forever ago. Tons of stuff, podcasts, all sorts of shit. But it also has some recent conversations like that I had with Secular Rarity, and one that I had with Ian Harris that you can only get on Patreon. But if you want, you can also become a member, right? That you can get a lot of stuff. Like I said, a lot of these live streams, they go straight to members after it's out. You can watch it live, but as soon as it's not live anymore, it'll get switched over to members. Sometimes, it's not all the time, right? Just every so often, depends. And then you also get a members only live stream every single week just for the members, all members only, right? And I can get to all the comments in those, and they're a lot of fun. It just gets real crazy in those. But and if you want to do a one-time payment thing on Cash App, cash tag is Punk Apostate. Appreciate anything you can do. You can also email me if I get anything wrong or I'm not, being succinct enough with the debunking presuppositionalist nonsense or something. I don't know. Maybe give me a little just helping me on that, But also, if you want to you can email me at punkapostate@gmail.com, right? And if you want to join our Discord, I do frequent that quite often. I'm not really online that often, but that's going to be the spot that I am there, as in the Discord and everything every so often. But also, you can follow me on all the socials. Like I said, not really on there too often, but every so often, I do posts like a thing or two. I don't know, like once a week or something. I don't know. But you can follow me on all that stuff, and all the links will be below in the description. But hey, the main thing though is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time.